This is where
It
we need the break, the break graphic. Technical difficulties.
we'll be
Err.
we'll be right back. Welcome to My God a Podcast. I'm Jim Wood. In this episode, John Powell and I preview Georgia's 2025 season, and we answer questions from you, our listeners. As always, remember to check out the newly redesigned MyGottaPodcast.com to see our latest merch, and you can follow us on social media at MyGottaPodcast. Finally, if you need help with your website or your online presence, head over to workingwebmedia.com/dogs. Now, let's join the conversation in progress. JP, we've made it through the months of summer. The season is here.
The dog days of summer are over because we're quickly approaching game week. We're
Yeah,
actually at week 0, so there are 0 weeks left of no college football, dear friends.
that's a good point. In the
Hello,
pod,
hello, friends.
in the podcast before the podcast, in the conversation that was in progress, I was saying that like there was something I had meant to write down and I forgot. Maybe that's what it was. Like, oh yeah, week 0, like who's playing and such. So
I don't get at this point, I don't care if two dogs want to get together and throw a football around, we'll probably watch it.
yeah, yeah, true. I will definitely, I'll be watching to some level this weekend for sure.
I don't even know who's playing this weekend.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, wait a minute. Um, I remember Kansas is playing somebody. I know that. So,
Oh wow,
um,
my neighbor will be excited. He's a K-State fan.
oh, nice. Nice.
Looks like yeah, K-State's playing Iowa State. So we have our first ranked opponent, our first ranked game this weekend. They're playing in Dublin, Ireland, K-State and Iowa State. So British Bulldog, come on down.
Mm, nice.
I doubt he's gonna go to that game with a kid. So, oh, that's funny though.
uh,
I'm gonna reach out to my friend in Ireland though. Yeah, so they've got that, and then Dan Mullen is now
oh
is
yeah.
the latest coach at UNLV. They play Idaho State. So the Clown King makes his debut again. I had to throw up in my mouth a little bit because at work I got a video from one of my clients that's out there in Las Vegas, and Dan Mullen's face popped up, and I was like, gosh. So
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I didn't
It,
even realize that. To his credit, he looks great. It looks like he's lost some weight.
oh, good for him. Good for him. Yeah, Fresno
Wish I
State
could
at
say the same.
Kansas. Yeah, it's a struggle. My off season getting healthier didn't go as well this year as last year. But yeah, Fresno State at Kansas. I knew Kansas was playing. Sam Houston at Western Kentucky and Stanford at Hawaii. So all on Saturday, by the way. So
Excellent.
yeah,
Excellent.
yeah, week 0, kicking it off with a bang. Well, hey,
Oh,
new season. Um, some new looks potentially. We're gonna try some stuff out for those of you who are watching on YouTube. Um, if you need to go follow us, we're at My God a Podcast like everywhere. By the way, Twitter or X or whatever, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. Um, yeah. So, and then as always, reminder, we probably don't say this enough. But yeah, we are affiliated with Home Field Apparel. You can always go to homefield.mygodpodcast.com, check out all the Georgia gear. And you can use code Hunker Down if you never shopped there before. You can get 15% off your first order. So always remind folks to do that.
I just put down an order for home field myself.
Oh, nice.
I chose the Go You Silver Britches shirt, and what else did I get? Oh, I got the 1912 or 21. I can't remember what it is. The old school bulldog. The old school standing dog, I guess the OG standing dog. Um, and then I got some shirts for the kids, which they don't have kid stuff, but if you ever wanted to order something for your kids, you can just order, you know, size down. My 8-year-old could wear an extra small, uh, pretty easily. So for what it's worth,
Yeah, I was gonna say they
uh,
go down all the way down extra small. Yeah.
yeah. If you're a big boy like me, you have to. I would recommend sizing up. I normally wear XL or XXL, but I have to wear triple X with home field.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, home field.
Thanks, Homefield.
But they're great
uh,
shirts.
they are. I've definitely been eyeing the blackout bomber jacket that just came out. Is pretty sweet. Um,
You have a blonde bomber jacket,
I know that's why I can't.
Said Kim.
That's why I can't. That's why I haven't personally bought it. But if you don't have a black bomber jacket, it looks pretty sweet.
That's why I feel like Jim was suggesting I buy it so that he could borrow it sometime. Hey man, you should check this out.
I was trying to figure out if I could justify like like maybe like Lily could have my old one and that would be cool, and I can have the new one. But
There you go.
haven't
There you go.
haven't pulled that off quite yet.
I did grab some winter jackets, so I need the weather to start cooling off quickly so I can wear some new swag that I got from a keeping warm point of view.
You never know when you get that game that you're there for a later in the day game and the swirling winds come in and it gets cold. So you always got to be prepared.
Yeah, the swirling winds or the almost sub-zero temperature Georgia Tech game,
We,
which we won't have that
well,
problem this year, but
true, true. But we still have the blanket that we bought from that Kentucky game where we were sitting with you. Uh,
I
it's
still have
actually
it
on our
too.
couch. Yeah, it's actually on our couch. It's out right now.
It's actually in Carter's. I wasn't allowed to keep it out. I was told
Okay.
it had to get put away. It is currently in Carter's closet. So,
Okay.
but it's definitely there. It's waiting. It's waiting for its time.
Yeah, I used it this evening actually. So while we were watching TV. Well, JP, I mean the season, rapidly approaching. Are you ready? You ready for kickoff?
I mean, I am ready for kickoff. I feel like it's kind of rushed up on us with with all of the kids' activities and things like that. It's like, oh my gosh, back to school for those of us that are in the Metro Atlanta area. If you're a normal person in society, you probably are like, wait, what? Your kids are back in school? Um,
Right.
but yes, our kids have been in school since August the 4th. So, we just turned around and basically school's in. So, um, yeah, I'm ready for fall Saturdays. I'm ready for the Morris Hall tailgate and the
Mm.
Tate Gate. I'm ready to see the squad again and to do all of the things that we love about college football. Oh yeah, and there's also some football.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with you on that. We were actually just talking earlier today, like starting to try to kind of plan out um like what we're gonna do, who's gonna go, etc. Because so we still have Ella still has not gone back to college yet. College, I guess in general goes back later, but then she's in the quarter system, so she goes back even later. So like Austin P weekend, we won't be at the game. We're moving her in that like Thursday right before that. But I think we're all
Okay.
gonna at least come into town for Marshall. Um, is the plan.
Hmm.
So although we're gonna be coming in hot like Saturday morning because
I
Lily
mean,
went.
it wouldn't be a wood gathering if you weren't coming in on two wheels.
Yeah, yeah. Our local high school's like first home game is the night before Friday night. So Lily wants to partake in some Friday night lights. So we'll we'll
Ooh.
we'll just head down Saturday morning.
Is she wanting to, she got friends or what's
Yeah, it's
the,
just, her high school's first home game of the season. So she doesn't want to miss
okay.
that one. Yeah.
I didn't know if she had her eye on someone.
Oh, I mean, not that I'm aware of.
I'm here for the boyfriend talk again.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Too good. No, nothing at the moment. Um, but yeah, man, dude, she's like, driving herself to school. So things are wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Definitely makes it easier for Kim in the morning though. So
That when they get mobile, it's great.
yeah, yeah, it's been nice. Well, how do you want to how do you want to run through this? I think we were talking maybe just run through a little Georgia offense, defense, special teams, kind of what we're thinking.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's no reason to get too complicated with it. I mean, I slaved over the research for this, so it'll be quite extensive, and I don't know where to really go with all the groundbreaking material that I have.
I I do
I
have
will say, good.
I also have a short, fun little game for you for something that hit our socials last week that I'm going to bring to the podcast. So we can maybe table that for a little bit
Okay,
after the actual football talk.
okay. So I want to maybe a good place to start is like, where's your head at right now, Jim? Because I have to say, like I've listened to some podcasts. We were just on with the Girls Talk Ball.
Hmm.
Um, you know, the like where's your head at? Like you can't really get excited about recruiting right now. That was what Kelsey had mentioned, and I don't disagree because it's just like, okay, cool. We'll see if they actually show up, they enroll, and if they stick around, like maybe I'll get excited about it if they pan out. They'll probably be gone next year, kind of thing. And then the waiting since last Saturday guys talked about like, I think what was it? Scott mentioned he used the metaphor of he's just driving along in the middle lane and college football has been flying by like a Ferrari or something like that in the fast lane.
Yeah, I listened to that too. There's a point where I was almost like, "Yeah, Scott okay with his college football fandom?" At one point, it seems like he is. Um, so you're talking about just like college football fandom, not necessarily Georgia. I mean,
Yeah, I mean
could,
we're talking about like, SEC preview. I kind of for me college football is the SEC, but
yeah, I mean,
I'm biased.
I guess yeah. I mean, so there definitely is like so much change. I definitely like from the Georgia perspective, I'm still like I wore my 2024 SEC champions hat for a reason because it's feel like I just like everything you hear is about Texas. Um, and I know like the whole like when we had Chris Phillips on, he had like the horny for disrespect joke. We've heard Marler make that, but like the stuff is out there. And now we've got the narrative has already begun that like Georgia should not have let Carson Beck go into the portal, and so it's just like, like all this stuff, it's kind of like here we go again, all over again with the narratives. So that's there. Um, but then I mean, and the other side of it is just like with all the changes in college football. I mean, like I don't know where everything is heading. Every day there's a new playoff expansion proposal. Like all these things keep getting floated out there and everything. But I
24 teams.
right. So at this point, I'm just like, you know what? Like nothing's gonna keep me from wanting to go to Sanford Stadium and cheer on my dogs on Saturday or watch them when they're on the road. And so that's just kind of where my focus is. Um, I'm excited for this team. I'm excited to see us. We talk about like Kirby Smart saying like "show me," and I think there's some things from last year that I want to see how this year's team reacts to like things that have been said about them, etc. So I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess that the way that I would kind of characterize it is that I don't know. So the way that college football is sets up right now, like I said, I feel like that it's done a disservice to the recruiting industry, which may be part of the reason you're seeing the consolidation in the recruiting world, like with On3
Mm,
taking over rivals. Maybe that's part and parcel with what we're seeing is that people are just not as interested in recruiting anymore. Because I definitely am not super excited about it anymore. Because it's just like you give up out of nowhere, this guy that you've been investing your time and effort in decides to commit to Texas Tech of all teams. You're like, what? Like, what's going on?
yeah,
And so it's hard to take it seriously, like the recruiting, as crazy as it was, 6, 7 years ago. Like, when we would oh, well, did you see such and such committed? Like, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, awesome. Like, none, you don't see any of that anymore. Like, I don't hear anybody talking about, did you see they committed? Like, oh man, I don't see nobody's talking about recruiting anymore. So maybe the NIL off one of the offshoots is that we can kind of relax on the recruiting situation for a little bit.
Mhm.
So the other thing I think that it's done is like, so okay, so if you don't care about recruiting anymore, even less than you did before, well, now what do you have? Well, I have my team. I have my Georgia Bulldogs, and I've got what I do on Saturdays in the fall. Like, and I feel like it's going to create these little even more tribalistic approach to sport to college football. Is like I don't really know what's going on with the rest of the SEC for the most part. So like when we're sitting down to talk about an SEC preview, I'm like, oh, geez, like what the heck's going on? Like, I mean, two of our breakout players are transfer players, like at least on my list anyway. So like,
Yeah.
so it's like, God help you if you happen to transfer from, somewhere else to, Mississippi State. Like, oh, okay, great. Oh, wow, it turned over their entire roster. I had no idea. Like, that
Yeah.
sucks.
That's
So I think
interesting.
that it just makes me want to like not care about literally anybody but my team.
It's interesting because I feel like the sport is kind of like becoming like it was always so regional, right? Like we had the regional conferences, and now we've got the ACC with teams from California, and you're coast to coast in the Big Ten. And I feel like it's trying to go this national, and I feel like you and I are kind of reacting the same way, where we're like mentally like contracting back to like
Yeah.
uh more regional for us. Like I'm just gonna focus on what I know.
Yeah, FTMF.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, honestly, I'm kind of feeling the same way. That's interesting.
It's like a control what you can control kind of mentality situation. I can control how I feel about, what we're doing on Saturday. I can control what's going on with my team and learn as best I can about the players that we got right now. And then next
Yeah,
season we'll do it all over again
yeah, yeah,
because
for
there
sure.
inevitably will be even more roster turnover when people transfer out that are unhappy. Like, I mean, I hate to say it, but like, one of these quarterbacks that we're talking about is probably going to transfer next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the new reality. I mean, yeah,
Yep.
it's not quite basketball yet. Shout out Fletcher. Um, with the roster turnover year over year. Um, but that's probably just a volume thing.
Yeah, it's just a volume thing. I mean, it's a lot easier to have roster turnover when you only have five players that you're worried about.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
And one player on the basketball field on the basketball team can completely change the game. Whereas, yes, it can on football, but it requires a little bit more cohesiveness.
hmm hmm yeah, yeah, no, I agree. And I saw just like on the national regional thing, like I saw, and I'll apologize because I can't remember who to credit on this, but saw it on Twitter today. There was conversation around like people being more excited for like a game between two smaller schools than say Ohio State Texas because like is the winner like losing that Ohio State Texas game doesn't hurt you. Um, so that's just shifted completely. Like you used to have
The
you'd be
the
spending
soul
all
crushing
season.
loss.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, week one in the past, like sure, like you can work your way back, but still, now it's just kind of like, well, this is maybe probably the first time they'll play each other this season, And we're talking like an Texas being an SEC team now, it has to be the Big Ten, and that's kind of the thought process. So it's a different world. It's a different world. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm kind of like you.
yeah. I mean, look at 21 when we had, we went to Clemson, like.
Yeah,
Or when we went to Charlotte, like imagine losing that game and how we would have felt. And versus now, if we had a similar game, we'd be like, yeah.
yeah. I mean, you can directly say that year, right? Like if we had lost that Clemson game and you lose the SEC championship to Bama, like we did, we don't get to the playoff and get to correct that. We don't get a chance to correct that mistake. And like now, you would, I think.
I think maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I guess we'll see. We'll see. TBD. But cool. Well, I guess like what are you thinking for like what's on your mind around the dogs specifically? Like what have you I know you said you were starting to kind of look into some stuff. Like what have you learned? What are you looking for?
I think that for me, it's pretty straightforward. We were texting about it on the on one of the text threads that we're on. I think that we are incredibly strong at a number of different positions. I actually think we've upgraded our defense pretty substantially from last year.
Mm,
I actually think our secondary is going to be absolutely lights out. I mean, we got Will Muschamp and Kirby Smart back there, so even though Will's not a, we've seen him in the preseason videos that he's still around.
yeah.
So I feel as confident as ever, at least as confident as I've been since probably 22, in the defense. And that's saying something.
Yeah.
I feel like we've got some breakout players. You got Medozi, is one of those players on the defensive side that I feel like is going to be, sounds like that he's making waves.
Yeah.
Um, I've actually heard like we on this podcast have mentioned Aguero a couple of seasons in a row now.
Hmm.
And I feel like if a player like Janelle Aguero comes and has a breakout season, that would be another feather in Kirby Smart's stick around with Georgia,
Hmm.
get developed, eventually you'll get your shot, have a, couple of years in not necessarily purgatory, but you're honing your craft, you get hurt, whatever, like, but you come here and you just stick it out and we'll have a breakout season and then you get drafted high in the draft and you make your life-changing generational money in the NFL.
Yeah.
Um and potentially set yourself up for a nice career. So anyway, like, we see guys like Aguero. So I mean, I'm very confident about the on the defensive side. I feel pretty confident about the special teams. I feel a lot more confident about wide receivers. There are a couple of different position groups that have big question marks. The running backs, obviously, we've got Gunnar Stockton. I feel pretty confident, more so than I have been than say like a Joe Cox year or a Hudson Mason year, where I think that his body of work from high school and what we saw last year, and that he did enough, I felt like, to beat Notre Dame. Um, I think that the Notre Dame game last year fell on the defense's feet, but this season I feel as though with all of the departures, we lost Tate, we lost a number of guys on the offensive line. I just feel like that this team's going to live and die on how well the offensive line is able to block. I heard someone, I think we saw the text saying that they were basically betting that Gunnar Stockton throws for 3,000 yards this season.
Yeah.
Um, if Gunnar Stockton throws for 3,000 yards, well, we'll be dancing in New Orleans. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 No, I'm with you. I think like what I'm curious about is, I mean, like we've talked about, like it all starts with the line of scrimmage, looking at the offensive line. Um, but I want to get us back to running the ball. And I'm not saying like to force it, but being able to run the ball well. Because that was definitely somewhere we struggled last year. But I mean, oddly enough, we have a or leading rusher returning. I mean, Nate Frazier was actually the leading rusher of the team last year, with ETN being out so much.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm looking for big things from him in year two. Um, I like the way he honors the tradition of the history of being a running back at Georgia. Scored his first touchdown, did like a did the girly bow and like the Sony jazz hands like right off the bat. So I'm excited to see what he looks like in year two for sure.
Yeah. Um, I don't disagree with that assessment. You got Nate Frazier, who's kind of the heir apparent back there, but then you got guys that are coming up behind him that you are continue to hear more about. We heard about him in the lead up to G Day, and I feel like that the steam has done nothing but has gotten better in terms of what I've heard from Bo Walker.
Yeah.
Which, dear Lord, sweet baby Jesus, I need that name I need that name on a Heisman Trophy at some point.
Yeah. 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 I mean, he's got to be really good
I
just from the
I
name.
cannot, Jim, maybe we should go ahead and start making some bow nose merch
Mm.
and
Mm.
and really piss off some people.
uh,
We're gonna usurp the term bow.
I like it. I like it. I'm curious to see where everything goes with the transfer running back with McCray um coming in from
So
Illinois, like because I think he was sick when he got here and all this stuff.
yeah,
So I'm not entirely sure what's going on there.
I'm not super confident. Anytime you come in as a transfer in this offense and you miss reps, you miss time. I mean, you're talking about drinking from the fire hose, right? Like he's probably going to be coming in and not prepared for how much he's supposed to block. And if you can't block in Kirby Smart's offense, you're not gonna be on the field very much. I feel like it hasn't been like negative about him, but I haven't heard as much noise as I have from Bo Walker.
I think that's fair. I'd say the same. I'd say the same.
Um, but yeah, he did come in sick, so obviously he's maybe a little behind physically. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Uh, and then I think I don't know, like I don't know if is overhaul the right word of the receiver room from last year to this year.
I don't. I mean, I guess in a sense that it seems as though they've been able to plug and play a couple of big time names that are starting to build a lot of noise. If those two play, if Noah, and we're talking about Noah Thomas and Zachariah Branch, right? Like
Yeah.
everything that I'm hearing is that like Zachariah Branch could be the answer for the AD Mitchell enigma problem. Um, Making contested catches, those kinds of things, got breakaway speed, all those kinds of things. He runs really strong routes. I mean, there was a clip, a clip that we saw from practice where he ran a route that I feel like I haven't seen a Georgia receiver run in probably, since maybe Pickens. I don't know.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and I mean, he's shifty. I mean, because he's going to be back there returning kicks, um, as well. But you got that, and then the return of Colby Young, I think,
Oh
also
yeah. I mean,
could be
shoot. I
big.
mean, there you go. Yeah, you're talking about another player that's like, oh yeah, and we got him.
Right.
And by the way, we haven't even mentioned Dylan Bell. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's fair to say that it's a revamped, maybe not rebuilt, but revamped. Um, you know, th- to use the patio term, we got a couple of pergolas out there, but the grill still works. Like we got some we put some coats of paint on the Adirondack chairs out there,
Yeah.
we got a new fire pit bowl, replace the rusted one, Anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, if you think about it, like when if we go out there, when we go out there like first play of the game, week one, let's say there's three receivers on the field. I mean, it is a chance that none of them were here last year, or were like actively playing. I mean, I could see a world where those three are Noah Thomas, Colby Young, and Branch
Jim,
potentially.
I don't know how they're going to do it because we're going to be running the damn 13 personnel.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Sorry, Carter.
Oh, sorry.
Um, yeah, so I mean, we're only going to need a couple.
That's true. That's true. That's fair. Um, yeah,
But that's another position group that we haven't mentioned. It's also, I feel like, just reloaded. Um,
yeah,
time will tell, but there's a lot of positivity coming out of that position group too. Which maybe some of the, we got we got one of those space eaters that's kind of like Darnell Washington type size, like, you know, standing next to Lawson Lucky. We talked about we talked about last time. Those are not small people, and he makes them look tiny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure. Was that Elias Williams, 6'7"?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
A large human.
yeah. We got some big boys out there. No, man, I'm also, I would say, um, definitely excited to see Lawson Lucky another year in the system. And then, I mean, Delp, I think too, like Delp last year, I feel like there was a lot put on him, and maybe it was almost too much or something. I'm not sure. Um, but I would say look for a bit of a bounce back year for him.
Okay, I'll take it. Um, as far as like, the quarterback goes, I think
Mm,
that Gunnar Stockton, I think, is going to be one of those. Everybody's going to be watching for him. Um, like I said, if he that's the bellwether for me is going to be, is he flirting with or over 3,000? Because you look at some of the stats. I took a look at this because when someone said that, I was like, huh. I was like, well, I feel like that would be like a guarantee that we've had a successful season if he's thrown for over 3,000 yards in his first season. Because you go back and you look at the history of that quarterback position. I mentioned a couple of them: Hudson Mason, Joe Cox. I mean, even Stetson Bennett. You know, in his first season, um, he didn't touch 3,000. In 2021, he didn't touch 3,000. Um, he was close. Hudson Mason didn't touch that. Jake Fromm never touched 3,000. Um, Joe Cox never touched 3,000. So like you talk about some of these players that I've heard people compare, like, oh, he's like kind of like Joe Cox. Like, I don't know that that's a fair comparison of Gunner. I think that he would probably be a little insulted by that, and probably should be insulted by that.
yeah.
Um, but if we've got a quarterback out there, first year as the official starter for the entirety of the season, doesn't get hurt, Jim, knock on your head.
Mm.
Um, you know, a 3,000-yard season would be a substantial win, particularly if we're talking about completion percentages. I don't know, 65 and over. Um, you know, if he's touching 3,000 yards and he's completing 70% of his passes, like we've seen in the past that some bubble quarterbacks have been able to do, like I think I mentioned we'd be dancing in New Orleans, which maybe we will be too, or we probably will be too, but it'll be dancing in Miami at that point.
Yeah, I feel like we've all like forgotten that Gunner was a 5-star recruit. It's like, oh, like all these five
Oh,
stars, these 5 stars. It's like Gunner was a 5-star. I mean, he was much more highly touted coming out of high school, even than say Beck was. Um, so I don't know. Also, like from what we saw of him last year, right? Like at the end of the season, I mean, you're thrust into a situation in the SEC championship game. Um, did well. He had the one pick, the one bad play, but otherwise was great. Leads us to a comeback, and then like you said earlier, lost in the Sugar Bowl, but not gonna put that on Gunner. So I'm excited to see what he looks like coming into a season where we've known that he's gonna be the guy. Um, Granted, I keep seeing all these things where like Kirby hasn't named him the starter. I don't know if you've seen that narrative going around or whatever. I don't know if narrative's the right term there, but I think
what was
people keep
that?
people keep asking Kirby like if like to name Gunner the starter, and he like dodges the question. I think he doesn't
Mm.
answer. Like he talks about like how Gunner's doing and stuff like that, but he's not gonna like be like, yes, Gunner is our starter. I think he probably just like doesn't feel the need to say that. It's kind of obvious. We brought him to SEC media days. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I always like to see what somebody does when it's like now it's going to be their team. So
Right. To your point about the, we forget that Gunner was a five-star recruit. Like, yes, that is 100% accurate. I think I've heard some folks talking about that on podcasts and whatnot, but um, you know, Carson Beck was recruited as more of a project
Yeah.
than Gunner was. I mean, you go and look at what Gunner did in high school, and he did this in the state of Georgia in a pretty high classification, not the highest out in Raven County, but he can't really help where his parents live. But I mean, he's outgunned what Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson. Like we're talking about NFL level quarterbacks that he set multiple Georgia high school records when he was in high school.
Yeah.
You ask AI, and they have they have described it as Stockton had a legendary high school career.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree with that. That's accurate.
Yeah. Yeah. Stockton was ranked among the top quarterbacks in the country for his recruiting year.
Yeah. I mean, that was a big deal that we got him. I mean, it's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's like, I mean, I guess now maybe you could say Beck was a 5-star transfer or something. I guess, like, I guess maybe we look at things a little bit differently than we used to, but when I hear 5-star, I still think high school. And I mean, that's what Gunner, that's what, I don't know. Like I said, it was a big deal when we got him. So I just, I don't know why. I usually don't let narratives bother me, but they've been bothering me the last couple of weeks. So I need to just
Trust me,
chill
Jim.
out.
I'm all about calling out things that are not true these days.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If you know,
Uh,
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, you want to talk about the defense a bit? Unless you had something else, but because I know we hit on it a little bit. But you had
Yeah.
some big words that some lofty praise there. How highly you're thinking of this defense.
Oh yeah, from the defense. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think that there's just a recipe for some legendary stats that could get thrown up. I know that Dwight is probably drooling at the thought process of doubling our sack output from last year, which was
Mm.
probably a subpar year for Kirby Smart. Um, Shout out to Bulldogs battling breast cancer for their sack challenge. More to come on that here on these here interwebs. Um, but so yeah, I think the secondary is going to be lights out. Like there's just not I just don't see any way around that we're going to have multiple problems, multiple positions where multiple problems for opposing offenses, and we're going to
Hmm.
give defensive coordinators headaches in the back end. So I think that that position group is going to help the coverage and help the defensive line get a little bit more up to speed. To your point, trenches is where things are made. Outside of a handful of teams, I just don't know. Like, is there anybody that's given you a whole lot of fear on the defensive side or on the offensive side? I just don't know. And you couple that, like you take all of that information about, you know, who you got coming back. I feel like our secondary is as seasoned as it's probably been in some time. Not only that is it, but it's loaded with talent that will be playing on Sundays. I feel like there's probably, I want to say there's at least 7 or 8 guys, possibly 9 that are on the squad right now that could probably be playing in the NFL at some point in the
Mm.
not too distant future. Um, they're that good, right? Some of those in that vein are probably going to need to step up this season, particularly on the linebacking core and the defensive line. But I mentioned Mendoza. He seems to be guaranteed to be a producer, an instant impact player type person.
Yeah. Which
We met,
Army transfer, by the way, if you're not familiar.
yeah, dude, you coming in from Army, I feel like yeah. there's a reason that Kirby Smart brings someone in like that from where he brought him in. There's a reason Kirby Smart brings in a player, right? Like,
Yeah.
and he's a defensive player and he's from Army. Okay. He's probably knows what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I think there's a lot going on there. So you couple all of that said, the talent that we're talking about, the coaches that we know that are on that side of the ball. I think that this is probably the weakest SEC quarterback situation that we've had in quite some time.
Mm,
So you've got multiple teams breaking in quarterbacks. I mean, Texas, for all of the bloviation, they are, I mean, you want to talk about a over leveraged team on one factor, it kind of feels like the Big Short. Like I would be shorting Texas if I were a gambler, despite all of the investments that they've made. But again, like I said, it's kind of like the Big Short. Like you just make all these investments in this in this guy, and you look at the data, and it's like, well, there's no data there. Like, how can you crown the champions when you haven't even seen what he's going to produce?
yeah.
Um, so I don't know. I take the under on any kind of guesstimates with what he's going to do. Um, so you got Texas breaking in quarterback, Alabama's breaking in quarterback. Simmons at Ole Miss, by and large, has a lot of talent, but needs to showcase that, I guess. Nussmeier at LSU is probably the most proven talent across the entire SEC.
Yeah.
Outside of that, like there's no, I mean, you got Tennessee breaking in a quarterback. Lagway, we don't know what he's going to look like.
I'd say Sellers. Sellers is my other guy to look at. I thought he was good this
Yeah,
year. We'll see what he does. We'll
Seller,
see what he does from freshman to sophomore year. Yeah.
yeah, but by and large, I mean, who's Auburn's quarterback? Do you know?
Right. Right.
I
The
mean,
guy from Oklahoma, I think.
yeah, I mean, I mean, you mentioned Oklahoma, you got Panettiere or whatever his name, Mentier or whatever his name is,
Yeah.
um, came in from out west. Um, you got him and Arch making Venmo
Oh my gosh.
Venmo purchases.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that there's a lot of question marks across the entirety of the SEC at the quarterback position, and including Georgia. And to play devil's advocate, even Georgia has unproven stuff. I think that we saw enough of his body of work in two big games that gives me enough to say that I think that he can get the job done, which is more than I can say from one Arch Manning.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you. And it's a weird season to with this, in year two of the expanded SEC. We're like running it back from last year's schedule to this year, but flip flop home and homes. Um, and like
Amazing
for
home schedule.
Yeah, so you get a couple of things out of that, right? So one, it our schedule last year was just insane. Going to Bama, to Ole Miss, to Texas. We had all three of those at home. Plus, you've always got the cocktail party as neutral, and then you got Georgia Tech decided to host a home game at Mercedes Benz. So you take the schedule and you flip it, but we get all those big, powerhouses at home, and we only play three games that are in an opponent's stadium, which is kind of wild for a season. So, um, I think just kind of like macro level on the season, while the schedule is basically the same as it was last year, it's exactly the same as it was, in conference. But that flip from those road games to the home games is huge this year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got the Kirby Smart narrative of it's not narrative, it's just the truth.
Yeah,
Unbeaten at home, gonna be riding a record into several games this season, in my opinion. So
yeah,
several big games. So um yeah, I think that that is going to bode well for everyone involved because We just don't get pushed around at home under the Kirby Smart regime,
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. All right.
regardless of who's at quarterback.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. No. I agree with that. Um, let's see. We got the listener questions. Oh, we got the fun thing that I put together. Do you wanna do you wanna do that?
Yes.
Okay. So this kind of came out of some form of Twitter exchange. Oh, you tweeted. And I think we had our friend Garrett doing some inside sources research for us. So you tweeted about and John, I'm going to bring back up what I had up earlier. You tweeted about Georgia's never won a national championship in the playoff era unless the quarterback was sponsored by Onward Reserve. I believe was your tweet.
That was me. You know, it's kind of along the same lines as, is the quarterback from at the University of Georgia from the state of Georgia?
So, I did some crack research team, other podcasts
Oh, is that what this is?
other
Okay.
podcasts, do preparation and like are looking at depth charts and stats and things like that. I've been going through the Onward Reserve catalogs. So John, I have if you're
I knew it. I knew it. I
so
knew.
if you're this is great for visuals if you're on YouTube, we'll do our best we can to describe this to those of you who are just listening. So I've got
This
a
is this is the most Jim Wood thing I think I've ever seen in my
God,
life.
I've got a five different of the small Onward Reserve catalogs. I found a stack of these things in my office. Why I had these, I don't know.
Of course you did, Jim.
Dude,
Of
The
course you
Georgia Florida
did.
one is pretty sweet. That's like a collector's item.
That is a
Um,
collector's item, I feel
so I've
like.
got fall 23. I've got Georgia Florida. I think that was from 23. And then we've got summer, fall, and back to school of 25. I don't know exactly how we want to do this, John, but basically, you can try to guess or whatever, or you can just pick one and we can take a look at who was featured. Actually,
Let's just
so basically, so you were saying, so this all started because you saw like a Puglisi Onward Reserve ad, right?
yes,
That's
and I
kind of what it was.
had not seen one of Gunnar Stockton since 23.
Okay, so we can go through these, and so or you can even like, who do you think is going to be in these?
Well, I mean, is that Georgia, Florida? Is that Stetson Bennett? I feel like is Stetson's going to be still in those?
Are you
No?
ready? Are you ready to see that one? We'll start there. Georgia,
Of
Florida actually featured a huge two-page spread with one Gunner Stockton advertising the
excellent.
peak polos. Um,
Excellent.
I'm not saying that he's the only player. I kind of like picked some from these. So
Okay.
23, Georgia, Florida head Gunner. Where do you want to go next?
Okay. Let's go. Give me summer. Show me summer 25,
Summer
Jim.
25. All right, let's see. Summer 25. This was the Puglisi. So this has you've got Ryan Puglisi teeing off playing level golf. So that's what we had in
With the
summer
hat backwards too, by the way.
with the backwards hat. So I don't know if this has any relation to the uh what's the YouTube series? The golfing thing?
Oh yeah. I need to go and check
Yeah.
that out. I can't recall.
Which by the way, Georgia football or Georgia athletics, I don't know, like full on YouTube channel now, by the way. Definitely go check that out.
Hmm.
Okay, so 25 summer just had Puglisi. Where do you want to take us next?
Give me fall 25. I need to see all the 25s right now.
Fall 25 had neither Puglisi nor Gunner. So I just threw this. This was a Delp picture that they had uh, in this one, but it didn't have Gunner or no quarterbacks in this one.
No quarterbacks.
Not in fall 25.
Are those bathing suits, Jim?
Those are
I have a pair of Columbia bathing suits that looks just like that one.
I do too for the Standing Bulldog. I've got that one also.
Correct.
I do like the silver Block G helmet one. That's nice.
That is nice.
All right, so you want to stick with 25? You want to see the
Yeah, I want to see is Gunnar Stockton still on the payroll at Onward Reserve, Jim?
in the back to school 25? We have both Puglisi and Gunner. They're both in it. We also have freshman quarterback Ryan Montgomery. He didn't make the cut. Sorry, Montgomery. Um, for the videos. But yeah. Also, fun fact. So Gunner is holding up his player t-shirt um with like the so this is like his NIL t-shirt, I guess. The picture on his t-shirt is him driving his truck.
I mean, I feel like that's pretty convincing that he's holding up his own, that he's
Yeah.
on the payroll. He's
Yeah.
got the truck. He's got the truck picture. Is Ryan Puglisi, is he wearing one of those upside down letter
It
hats?
is. It's gonna be upside down dogs.
It's
Yeah,
gotta be
I still don't I
it's
don't
gotta be a knock on the kid. He just doesn't know any better.
is it
He's not from the state of Georgia,
but
Jim. I'm
is
gonna fall back on that.
the upside down lettering, like, is that just a generational thing that we just don't get it because we're as like, are we old? Because
Yes.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yes. We are old, but I still don't get it.
All right, that leaves
I
small.
feel like it's a very chicky thing to do. Like I feel like
Yeah.
the ladies love the letter hats like that, and they love them upside down.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't figured it
Not
out
that
yet.
there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so that leaves the fall 23 Honored Reserve catalog. That one on the back had one Jackson Muschamp. So that was the one where I told you, I was like, I guarantee I found something that you're not going to be prepared for. It was this.
Jackson Muschamp. Look at that
uh,
kid.
so he was the first one that that was the oldest one that I had lying around. Um, so yeah, I have a whole stack. There's other ones, but those were the ones that
I'm sure you
primarily
did,
featured football
Jim.
players. Yeah, yeah. I don't throw anything away.
What have I done? I've created a monster.
See, and this was like the perfect storm of like where I'm like, this is why I keep things.
I'm sure that Onward Reserve is getting a kick out of this. They're not a sponsor yet.
Not a sponsor yet. I mean, come on, guys, come on. Like, I'm just saying,
This
kind of
is
would kind of make sense.
this is hard hitting. This is hard hitting content. We're gonna have to clip this, and I'm gonna tag them on the socials and be like, "Hey guys, pay up."
I mean, that I feel like that's at least worth some, like a polo or maybe a gunner driving
A
his
gunner,
truck
I'll take a
T-shirt.
gunner t-shirt, bro.
Yeah, that one's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. Uh, all right,
Yeah.
all right. That's it for that. We can move on to listener questions. Um, Before we talk about the list, before we do the listener questions, let's talk about our actual sponsor. So shout out again to to Working Web Media. We've been working with them for a few years now. Helped us redo our website. So if you want to go see some of their work, you can head over to mygodapodcast.com. They helped us build that out. They will help with, getting your site set up with your SEO, just with your online presence in general. So if you got a small business, you need help with your website, your online presence, head over to workingwebmedia.com/dogs, and then they will know that we sent you their way. All right, let's hit the listener questions. First up, we've got the building bonus. TM
Mm.
from one Brett Building. Shout out Brett. He opens with, "We are finally here." Part one. Which home game will be the loudest? I think I've got a pretty, like, I feel like it's Alabama.
Yeah, it'll be Alabama for
Yeah.
sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. First time we've played Alabama at home under Kirby Smart, under the lights. Um, you know,
Here's a question. Is Kalen DeBoer prepared for that to be able to coach through that? I
mm,
don't think so.
yeah,
Not in
yeah,
the way that Kirby Smart was
mm,
at Tennessee.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. Um, so this one is interesting. Which Georgia games will be featured on College Game Day, either as host or visiting team?
I mean, we're gonna have two right off the rip,
So I was
Texas
wondering,
and Alabama.
can they come to Athens twice in a season? Will they
They can
do that?
do they can do whatever they want, Jim. It's their show.
Would I don't know? Would they? That's because that's the thing. I mean, I
I
agree.
mean, I feel like they've done that in the past. Like, haven't they been like Haven't they done
Yeah,
that before? I mean, is it unprecedented?
I don't know. I don't know, John. I didn't spend time researching that. I spent time researching
You spent time doing animations for the YouTubes.
animations for the YouTubes. It's all good stuff.
So that we had
Subscribe to the YouTube
subscribe
channel.
to, subscribe to the YouTube channel so Jim feels better about himself. Uh,
Uh,
I feel like I need to research. I feel like I need to chat GPT the college game day situation.
you can't always trust what
Um,
it says. Just
oh,
saying.
I know, 100% because I did some chat GPT prep for this, and they mentioned Andrew Paul and Roderick Robinson, which
Oh, nice.
we're batting 500 there.
Right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fair, fair. Um, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. Like of our road games, I feel like it's tough. I mean, you could potentially get the cocktail party, um, and then you could potentially get. I think Tennessee really is probably the only one on the road. I mean that's early, but I don't know what they're gonna be like there. So I don't know. I would say 2 to 3 was my guess.
Yeah. Was this like Coach Trill's over unders?
Good question. Good question. I don't remember if that was on there or not. I don't think that was there.
Okay, so it is quite rare for them to go, according to ChatGPT, it is quite rare for them to visit the same school in a single season.
Okay.
Since 2009, only once has game day visited twice, and that was Clemson in 2013.
Okay. Okay. I mean that
Uh,
sounds right.
Before then, but now before 2009, there was more precedence for multiple visits. 2007, they went to Oregon and LSU multiple times. 2006, Ohio State, USC. Dude, I swear, Herb Street is got to be involved in all this. Oh, 06, 03, and 02, Ohio State was visited multiple times, along with Tennessee, Michigan, and USC, which is not too surprising. 99, Virginia Tech and Florida. 97, Michigan and Florida. So Florida was on there a couple of times during their, 90s run, I guess.
I'll tell you.
Um,
I'll tell you what though. Listening to that, I you just rattled off multiple national champions. So
mhm.
you get them coming to your house twice in a season. You're having a heck of a year.
There you go. There you go. Uh, of note, they did visit Texas A&M multiple times, but one of those games was the Lone Star Showdown.
Okay.
That was
Okay.
last year.
Okay. Cool. All right. Let's do next one. We got Bobby Wilson. Uh, we talked a lot about Gunner, but does Gunner have the ability to lead this team to a natty? I would say yes.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so how many games will our special teams win for us? I believe we have the best kicking and punting. Um, which we didn't talk about the special teams earlier. Um,
I touched on it. I touched on it. I think I feel very confident about special teams. I mean,
okay.
we have the hardest kicking punter in NCAA football.
I did see Kirby did say because I mean he's coming off an injury. Um, it sounds like he's not quite 100% yet. But I didn't see he did not get the hopeful kiss of death. So it just said he was just like non-committal on if he'll be back for the first game or not. So hopefully Thorson is ready to go soon. I would say this though. I hope that we don't have to win any games by our special teams. Like when I hear like special teams wins for us, I'm hearing, and maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I'm hearing like game winning field goal type things. So the less we have to do that, the better. For one thing, but I think the special teams are definitely capable of winning some games for us for 100%.
I would be completely fine with Brett Thorson never punting at all.
Yeah, yeah. I'm all about the no punt returns too. I like that. Let's bring that back.
I believe that is an over under.
Yes, that is. That is. I do remember that one. Um,
TBD.
and then Bobby said which defensive lineman and which offensive lineman will stand out the most.
Mm. I feel like Drew Bobo is going to be pretty integral on the O lineman side of
Yeah,
things.
that's a good one.
Um, I feel like that he's going to be a bit of the cornerstone of that offensive line. Um, what do you think about the defensive line?
Um, I'll go Kristen Miller.
I like
Uh,
that. I like that option.
um, I was also going to say on the offensive line, I'd love to see Ernest Green have a really good year. I think
Mm,
he flashed early and struggled a bit last year. So I'd love to have the answer be Ernest Green.
right. Um, I think that there is a lot of noise coming out about Elijah Griffin.
Yeah,
Um, so like he could be an impact player too, but I think Christian Miller is the go-to on that one.
yeah, yeah. I think Xavier McLeod is another guy to look for. Like he got a lot of run like late last year. Transferred him from South Carolina. So he's another one I'm kind of keeping an eye on.
Yeah.
All
Like I
right.
said, I think that the defensive line will be fine,
Mhm.
but as we just kind of like rattled off there, like there's some components of, I mean, we're young on the defensive line. So there's opportunity there. And there are some upperclassmen that are there for us to, build off of, but they weren't necessarily like huge components of last year's defense.
Yeah, well, and I
It-
think like one of those I think about a lot is in that vein is Jordan Hall. Like he was a guy that was I think we were looking forward to take a step forward last year, but like with injuries and stuff, never really happened. So he's another one. Like I mean, he's huge, 320. Like um, he's another one for me there too.
it, I did also, Jim, there's a Seymour on the team as well. Is that a Richard Seymour's progeny?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that is amazing.
Again, we're old.
Good Lord, we are old.
So
Guys that were playing when we were in college have college kids now.
so old.
Ah,
So old.
amazing.
Um,
Oh, I say that, but you have a college kid.
I do have a college. Yeah, yeah. So old. Just proof that I'm old.
Your old
You're not
balls and
helping
your
me. You're
loose skin.
not helping me. Not helping me out. All right, let's go to our friend John Tweed Sports. Um, does the Georgia social media team have the fire, passion, and energy to get the phone wallpaper out on time for a full season? The
Mm.
tweets are coming from inside the house. Um,
Shots fired.
so here's what I'm going to say. We are recording this Wednesday night. Today, the social media team dropped a week zero wallpaper. So
Ooh.
off
Do
to a
we
good,
have do we have it
yes.
for
Oh
the
yeah.
for
Yeah.
the
It's
for the
out.
YouTubes?
Oh, do we have it for the YouTube? So no, I don't.
Golly,
I could
Jim,
attempt to have it, but
I thought you were prepping properly here. We used to be a proper
used to
podcast.
be a proper podcast. Um, I could try to add it. Talk amongst yourselves. No, but like
This is where
it.
we need the break, the break graphic. Technical difficulties.
we'll be we'll be right back.
We crack ourselves up.
Oh man.
We're so back.
We're so back. Oh man. Um, so I was just gonna say there is one out. it came out on a Wednesday, so it came out on Wallpaper Wednesday, which I feel like is a big thing there. Um, so I don't know, off to a good start. I hope so. I actually told myself that I wasn't gonna like care about um I wasn't gonna care about that this year, but I'm not sure that I can live up to that.
Mm.
Because you know how I am.
Yeah, we need the fire, passion, and energy from the social team. Uh, Coach Smart has called us out. You know, he wants to see the fire, passion, and energy, and I expect to see that from the social team.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. Um, I'm trying to add it right now to the screen, and I'm almost there. So
It's pretty amazing. I like it.
yeah, it's a good one. It just took up the whole screen. uh, we're gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna not attempt to edit that on the fly. Next time, John. Next time. Next time we'll have the wallpaper out.
I need you to bring the fire, passion, and energy to the graphics team.
That's right. That's right. Hey, we're one week zero. We're good. Let's see if we can keep it up. Okay, next up. This one came from a text message from my friend Brad Kovacic. Uh,
Ooh.
he he said, "Does the average Georgia fan deep down kind of miss Steve Spurrier? While I don't miss playing against him, he was great for the league, and I miss the personality." This came out of a text thread with he and I, another friend of ours, Adam, and I'm trying to remember. I think it was like there was some video of Spurrier making a clip about Tennessee that was funny. So,
I miss the edginess that he brought. You know, I guess you could argue that Lane Kiffin is bringing elements of that into the SEC, but I feel like that Lane is more just like a, I don't know. He's not funny about it. He's just a dick about it, you know?
um,
Um, I don't
well,
know.
I don't know. He also didn't win a Heisman as a player like Spurrier did, or win a national championship. My response to Brad in the text was that like I'm a lot more fine with Spurrier considering that like Grayson Lambert made him retire. So that kind of helps me have more fond memories of him, I guess. Like because it was the kind of thing where it was like when he like came back and he was at South Carolina, I remember there was like that sentiment was kind of out there, like, oh, like Spurrier actually is really funny and stuff. And then like they beat us, and it was like, oh my gosh, no, I can't deal with this guy. um, so I don't know. I guess maybe now that we're that far removed, maybe kinda. I don't know. So I don't know. I feel like I kind of feel that way, but my gut tells me if he was actually still around, I wouldn't feel that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I feel like that if he could kind of just be there in a way that John Daly is kind of around for golf. Like
Mm,
John Daly is great and all, but like I wouldn't want him around all the time.
yeah. That's fair. Um, all right, let's go to All School. Which by the way, All School hype video is coming. And All School is always waiting for the annual preseason hype video. Should hopefully be out by Monday, like game week. Um, it's in flight. Okay, so what do you think the ceiling is for Gunner? What's his floor? How do we feel about the backups? Should one of them have to come in? In August of 21, JD was a Heisman candidate and Beck was declared number two. And then obviously that was the Stetson season. In 17, Eason was the man. You never know. I think we've talked a lot about Gunner. What do you think about the backups, JP? Other than the honor reserve conversation.
Not great, Bob.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I mean,
we haven't seen Puglisi yet, other than
yeah,
June.
we haven't really seen. Yeah, it's it would be largely unproven. Which did they is that what is the depth after? So we have Montgomery, right?
Yeah. Um, and then yeah, but I mean he's like freshman also. Um,
Oh,
and
we
then
have my Linda, Hezekiah Melinda. That's the
yes,
kid from, isn't that the
the
kid
kid
from
he's from Clark.
Athens?
Yeah, he went to Clark Central. Like
Yeah.
I know I'm high on him. Um,
I mean, I'm high on all these guys, but they're freshmen. So like
yeah,
not great, Bob is exactly how I feel about the backups.
yeah,
Um, like you want to talk about if Gunner's unproven, then these kids are just coming out of the womb, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, yeah.
yeah. I mean it would be great to be able to get them into games. It's something we haven't done much of the last few years though, right? I mean we've our
I
starters
mean,
have been playing deep into games, so
let's be real. I mean, I think that Gunner Stockton is the starter, and it will be the starter unless he becomes not the starter. Which would be unprecedented in the Kirby Smart era for the most part.
mhm,
I don't expect that he's going to showcase the way that he has in the past, the way that others have in the past in terms of like, we're talking about Dwan Mathis and I haven't seen any indication that Kirby Smart is in a situation like that with him, with any of these guys, but you know. I think Puglisi is the clear backup quarterback. So, um, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that after Gunner's first interception of the season, people are going to be calling for Puglisi to come in and, take this team to a national championship, which, would be fantastic because the last time that happened, we had Stetson Bennett.
yeah, yeah. I mean this is college football, so yes, that's gonna happen.
I mean, shoot, there were people last year that were calling for Beck to get benched and put in Gunner Stockton. So,
Yeah, yeah, true story. Um, let's do. Let's go over to Fletcher Proctor. Which transfer portal newcomer are you most excited to see? Although Fletcher answered his questions, so he said, "Which transfer portal newcomer are you most excited to see?" Parentheses Branch. Which newcomer will have the biggest impact? Thomas. Which will be the fan favorite? Medozi. Other correct answers could have been Smurf, Catchings, Wilkinson. Wait, those are the hoops answers. So that was the basketball minute brought to you by Fletcher Proctor. I mean,
I love it. I love the sneakiness.
I know. I think in general he's got the right three guys. At least for me. I'm kind of excited. I would switch them up though. Um, because I don't know.
I think
Medozi
the
is maybe the one I'm most excited to see for some reason.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm excited to see Gunnar Stockton. I'm the most excited to see Gunnar Stockton.
No, which transfer portal newcomer are you most
Oh,
excited to see?
sorry,
So it's
transfer
all
portal.
portal. It's all
Sorry,
portal.
sorry, sorry. Reading comprehension. Um, let's see. Excited to see, yeah, Branch. Yeah. I don't know. I would say impact would be Medozi. And fan favorite, I feel like is probably going to be Branch. I think that Branch is just going to be that dude out there based on everything that I've seen and heard, which would be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I'll say honorable mention Josh McRae, just because I'm intrigued there. Take a running back out of the portal. I'm intrigued. All right, next up, Aaron King. With all the emphasis on the dropped passes last year and the additions to the wide receiver room, do you guys think our running game will get back on track and help carry the load more this year? Um, I mean, I think so. I think so. To me, like the run game is like you need to be able to run when they know you're going to run, kind of thing. Like you
Which
have to
comes
be
down to
able
the
to thread.
offensive line.
Exactly, exactly. So that's more where my head's at. Like last year, I felt like we couldn't do that, and we had to throw it. We had to throw it or let Beck run around and then run it, or at the very end of the season, Gunner run it.
Or scheme touchdowns and Beck throws to where he's not supposed to throw or throws to somewhere where the touchdown is not.
The handoff with one arm was pretty cool though.
Right. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I think that like I said, offensive line, offensive line, offensive line. If the offensive line performs, I think we're going to have a great season on the offense, which would mean by extension, I think I'm pretty confident we're going to have a good season on the defense, which would mean that we're going to have great season. So,
Yeah. I think the other thing too here, like just harping on like honing in on the drop passes like last year, this year. I mean, a good pass game helps the run game, and like and vice versa. So if we can run, set the play action pass, and if we can throw the ball well and catch it, then defenses have to respect that, which opens up the run game. So hopefully that all works out and gels this year.
right.
Our buddy Dwight Duda Dog. How many sacks will the vaunted Junkyard Dog defense have this season? Over under 40. Nice segue into sack breast cancer.
Mm,
So if you don't know, you got to go check out the Bulldogs Battling Breast Cancer Sack Challenge. You can pledge a dollar amount per Georgia sack. Jordan Jenkins is involved, and I think we're calling it the Jordan Jenkins Sack Challenge. Um, Potentially more to come on that. We'll just leave it at that. That's a high over under. We will address that when we get to coaches because this is also in coaches over unders.
got it.
Let's see. Army Dog Charlie, will we be running back you over again? Running back you again over under 1,500 rushing yards, QB over under 3,000 D line production. I think we hit most of these, and they're in the over unders as well. So Charlie, we'll get back to that in a minute. I had this in here. Kurt, I'm not entirely sure what this was. Kurt said Buck in the members only jacket, Hound Dog classic. So I don't know if Kurt wanted us to talk about Buck Willoo's members only jacket. I'm not familiar with it, if that is the case, but that sounds awesome.
As we've already discussed, Jim is a big jacket fan.
This is true. It's true. All right, John Michael D. I've been trying to put glasses on it and have some thoughts, but do y'all have any early little stitious things you're looking out for? Either way, I'm pumped to get back after another fall. Thanks to y'all for making it more fun on the high marks and bearable on the lows. First off, thank you, John Michael D. Much appreciated. I mean, I think honestly, the little stitches thing that I hone in on is the wallpapers. And we had a good start to that. Um, I think that's I don't know. Like I said, I was telling myself I wasn't going to care about this year. Um, but I'm curious to see, John, what you find this year. Last year, the eye black and stuff, and everything that you were tracking was quite entertaining. So whatever it is that you find, be sure to tag us and let us follow that. But I don't know, JP, do you have anything?
Um, well, we kind of already covered some of it. Got a quarterback from the state of Georgia, and we
Mm,
have confirmed that he is on the payroll at Onward Reserve. So I'm feeling quite little stitious about that.
okay.
Um, Blackout, I really,
Mm,
I really am a little stitious about Blackout. So, um, we'll see. Um, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
I think that's good. That's good.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Lamar, Mar Lovelace one on Twitter. What would Georgia be ranked with Arch Manning as quarterback one this season? So this was originally in our text thread with Lamar, and then it came here.
The texts are coming from inside the building. The tweets are
Honestly,
coming from inside.
so honestly, I think we would be number one. And I'm not saying that we would be better or whatever. Or it doesn't even have anything to do with that. It has to do with the Manning name and the way he's
He's
treated,
perceived.
he's perceived and treated. And so I think we would be number one.
I'll give
That's my
you,
take.
I'm gonna give you a comparison. Matt Stafford,
Hmm. Yeah.
2007, Matt Stafford.
Yeah. You think that's Arch? Or you're
I
saying that
think
we were one, or we were 1-8?
I mean we had a guy coming in, big arm, big talent, and
Yeah.
we were the number one ranked team in the country. And what happened?
Oh, that, yeah. Well, that was 2008. Yeah.
2008. Sorry.
The Bama blackout happened. Back to your little stitches blackout. Yeah. Yeah. But am I wrong? I think perception wise though, we would be number one.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's go to 51-7 GATA. While everyone is looking at the home schedule, I believe the road schedule will decide if the Dogs make the playoff. Most difficult road game at Tennessee, at Auburn, at Mercedes-Benz versus Tech. I believe we will see the black jerseys this season. Any tagged UGA football equipment. Um, I mean,
Yeah, we're
ranking.
definitely going to see the black jerseys with UGA football equipment this season for sure.
Well, yeah, they're gonna tweet it like a million times. In every night game, there's gonna be like some video with black jerseys in the background somewhere. Um, I mean, Tennessee is the highest ranked true road game opponent. I don't know if we count the cocktail party. They're the highest ranked preseason team that we play outside of Sanford Stadium. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know what kind of season Georgia Tech's gonna have. I mean that was a crazy game last year. It's on Black Friday again. Um, I mean, I
There's
don't
some
know.
people saying that there's some people picking Tech to win the ACC.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've definitely seen like go to the championship game. I've seen some like Tech playoff picks, which is interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Um, my pick is always going to be at Auburn.
Okay. Okay.
At Auburn is a tough game. Just weird things happen at Auburn. Just ask Alabama.
Yeah. Or
Just ask
Georgia.
Georgia or Georgia. Yeah, just ask Georgia. I mean,
Yeah.
there's something about that stadium with the way that it's constructed that I think is gives an unintended or an accidental. I don't know that they necessarily did it on purpose, but the way that that stadium is constructed, and I've heard it from multiple. I mean, I think George has talked about that you go to Auburn and it's just they're right there on top of you.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm good with that. I'll say Tennessee just to be different. I don't
I don't know. As long as Josh Heupel is the head coach at the University of Tennessee, I feel like Kirby Smart's and got that game kind of.
yeah.
I don't know. Kirby
Yeah.
Smart is in his head. If Georgia has an Alabama problem, Tennessee has a Kirby Smart problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll just to give a different answer. I'm going to change it. I'll say Tech. I think they could. I think they could be pretty good.
Hmm.
All right, Irked Russell, which again, every time Irked sends something in, have to comment. So great handle, great handle. Will the offensive line come together this year and be a bright spot for the team? So we've talked about them bright spot. Do you think they can be a bright spot
Dear
for the
Lord,
line?
sweet baby Jesus, make it so. Uh, I'm not saying that I take the Powerball, I take that over the Powerball, but if the offensive line can be a bright spot for this team, we've hit the lottery.
Yeah, yeah, that would be amazing. But will they? No, we'll see. We will find out. We'll find out
I don't
soon.
have confidence. Sorry, guys. I don't have confidence that Stacy and I are just not. I've just seen too much. There's just too much body of work. I fear, I fear, I don't want to be a pessimist about the season, but I think that we're gonna have problems there. I just the vibes are just not high for me on the offensive line. I need some show me.
Okay, okay, okay. Fair enough.
I just don't trust Stacy Searles as a coach, and I think that we may have some questions to ask at the end of the season on whether or not this is a Willie Martinez situation.
Mm, mm. Okay, okay. Um, let's go to James Lawson. Any concern that once real games happen, not having the blue helmet limits the quarterback's visibility of his reliable receiver. So this is in reference to the blue flame, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what it's like if you're exhibiting fire, passion, and energy in practice, you get the blue cover for your helmet represents the blue flame, as blue is the hottest burning within the flame. So it shows that you're doing well there. So yeah, so this is I don't know. Maybe this goes back to the little stitious. I think James is being a little stitious about the blue flame.
I don't know, man. I think the blue helmet is, you know, I feel like it's like it's like those memes, like, the distracted boyfriend situation. We've got
Mm,
the Savage pads, and now it's blue flame.
okay.
Um, I don't know. When was the last time you had Kirby Smart pulling out all the stops like that on practice?
Yeah,
This is where we need Logan's soundboard. We're talking about
we're
practice.
talking practice. Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, you want to know how dialed in Kirby Smart is on this season? We've got practice rewards. We've got practice incentives.
true, true.
I think we'll be all right, Ben. I think we'll be all right, James.
I agree. I agree. I'm not concerned about it, but I did think that was hilarious to bring up.
So I don't does when they do the scrimmages, are they doing the the skull hats for the helmets?
Good question. I would guess no.
I'm not sure. I don't know. That's a question. If they're not wearing them in the scrimmages, the reports coming out of some of the scrimmages mirror some of the comments that we've already made. So it suggests that Gunner has no problem seeing red
Mm,
or blue.
fair, fair. All right, let's go to Shinobu, UGA Hoops Shinobu. How excited are we to hear Scott, DJ, and Hondo and the gang again? Um, what I actually wanted to point out is that we do have a change in the radio booth this year. So Eric Zier will not be the play or the color commentator in the booth with Scott Howard. We are bringing in Josh Brock. So Josh has been on, I think, like the Saturday content. He's been doing some of the podcasts with Jeff Dantzler, etc. So yeah, so new color commentator this year. So be interesting.
I guess that could be a little stitious item.
Mm, mm, true.
Changing the broadcast crew.
Well, there was one game I can't remember if it was last year, or the year before, where like Zaire was like in Hawaii or something. I don't know, but yeah, true, true. I hadn't even thought about it that way.
I don't know enough about Josh Brock.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see how he does. I don't. I mean, I've never heard him call a game. So we'll see if he brings something different to the table this year. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I like to listen to the home team as much as I can.
Yeah. I do think that to your point, like, missing Eric Zaire, because Zaire often was able to bring a lot of perspective to,
Hmm.
and to the play calls and things like that is from his experience here.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Let's see. Tommy Harris wanted us to talk about special teams. Tommy, hopefully we did that. We did that justice earlier. Um, Rambo said y'all can go ahead and say y'all bet in the house. We will have the Heisman Trophy finally come back to Athens. I want to know, Rambo. Rambo, you got to tag us and let us know who's your Heisman pick.
Yeah, who's the Heisman? Who's the Heisman? I mean, Jim, I'm a Heisman hopeful.
You are.
Yeah. Nothing stops you from saying that you're a Heisman hopeful.
Well, that's true. That's true. Anyone, if you're on a preseason list, you can win. If you're not, you can still win.
Well, we talked about that last time. Or did we talk about it? I don't know. You got Daily Joy. She's got those SEC pretty hats. Not a sponsor yet. But I feel like the guy version is, SEC as is Heisman hopeful.
You should just say like it should say like preseason watch list.
Preseason watch list. Oh, that's amazing.
All right. Gene Fambro wants to know which is the better touchdown celebration: finger guns from Lad or kisses to the crowd from AD. Yeah, I mean, only one of those receivers has been a guest on my God podcast. Also, AD, you broke my heart. So finger guns for sure.
Yeah,
And we
it's
got the
got it's
story. We got the story behind the finger guns from Lad. So if you haven't, go back into the archives and listen to our interview with Lad McConkey back in 2023.
amazing.
All right, we've got one more. Are you ready, JP?
Do we have graphics? Amazing.
Oh my God! My God, a freshman.
Trying to put glasses on it.
1980 rule, brother.
It is time for coaches over unders. Again, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube. All right, JP. Let's see. How do we do this? How do we do this? Who goes first? I don't know. Do we
I believe last season's champion should
gets to choose?
get to
Okay.
choose, or we can flip a coin.
Okay. I'll go first. I am last season's champion. Uh,
You make the
to be clear.
rules.
To be clear. All right. Starting off with the offense. Over under 3,900 passing yards. Now, I will say, I can already hear the clarifying question. He did say offense. He didn't necessarily say Gunnar Stockton.
Gunnar
So that
Stockton.
could be starter plus backup, etc.
That could be Dylan Bell.
Oh my gosh. Oh yes. Yes, yes, yes.
It could be Drew Bobo.
I like it. Well, yeah. I actually, when I was looking at the stats, I was looking at some stats from last season, and it was like Drew Bobo 1 for 1, 100% completion percentage.
Yes.
um, um, and now, of course, I'm like, So that's actually right, like where the team was last year. I think we'll throw for a little less this year because I think we're gonna run more. So I'm gonna go under.
I'm gonna also go under. It's
Okay,
a good line though. I
I
mean,
think it is a good line.
so the other thing that's throwing a wrench in it is like, the extended playoff and all that kind of stuff. So it's like looking at
Mm.
historical numbers and all that kind of thing. It's like,
Oh, gosh, making me think about changing my answer here, John.
I'll stand by the under.
That's fine. That's fine. We're locked in. All right, over to you. Over under 1,950 rush yards.
It's a lot of yards
Mm. Hmm.
total.
Yeah.
Um, you have Rod Robinson, Josh McCray. I mean, we haven't even really mentioned Nitro. Nitro Tuggle's in there. Um,
No, Nitro.
no, is he?
Nitro's he gone.
Oh, he gone. Oh, never mind. See, portaled out. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna go under. That just sounds like an awful lot of yards for the supporting cast that we have.
Okay. Okay. We're at 1742 last year. I'm gonna go over, starting it off.
Oh,
So, all right. Now over back to me. Total offensive touchdowns at 60. I'm gonna go over.
I'll go over as well.
Okay, and then over to you. Touchdowns by a wide receiver at 15.
By one wide receiver or any wide receiver?
Uh, I'm
It's gotta
assuming.
be any wide receiver,
I'm assuming
right?
like in total, right?
Total?
Are you saying like an individual receiver?
Yeah, like are we saying
Oh,
that
okay.
Zach Branch gets more than 15 touchdowns? Like
Well, that's true. I don't know. We might have to have a clarifying question with Coach. We should text him.
yeah, seriously. This is where the technical difficulties comes
So
into
you're
play.
reading this as will any single receiver go over 15? And it could be anybody.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I would read. I mean, how do you read it?
I don't know. Like the wide receiver room number of touchdowns?
do we have what was our wide receiver touchdowns last year?
So let's see. Arian had 4, Lovett had 6, so that's 10,
Yeah, so it's gotta be total.
12. We only had 14 for the whole room last year.
Yeah,
At
it's gotta
least,
be total.
yeah.
Yeah. There's no way that one is having 15 touchdowns.
Right.
Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure.
Okay.
Because I was definitely gonna smash the under. But now I'll take the over. I'll take the over.
Okay.
I'll go opposites. I'll go opposites on the rushing over under, and I'll go over on the
Okay. I'm gonna go over as well.
Sure.
Defensive. Okay, so now it's my turn. Over to the defense. So passing yards per game, over under 280. You got me hyped up on the secondary earlier, John. So I'm gonna go under.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under.
Okay. Over to you, defensive rushing yards per game, over under 125.
That seems like a good line.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over.
I am as well. Turnovers forced at 20 for the year. I'm gonna go over.
How many did we have last year? Yeah, so I'm gonna go over on that one. It looks like we had 19.
We did.
8
We had
interceptions, 8 interceptions, 11 fumbles.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go over. All right. Sacks. We promised that earlier. Sack challenge related. Although Dwight's over under was 40, Coach has 32. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over 32 sacks.
I'm gonna go over 32 sacks for the purposes of the over unders, but I'm also gonna go over on Dwight's number.
Nice.
I think we had 37 last year.
And then over to you for special teams, over under 5.5 punts returned. I'm assuming he means by Georgia's opponents.
Yeah. I like how you threw the clarifying question out before I did. I'm gonna go under. That's Now hold on. I have not locked that in.
Okay. Okay, you can think.
Now I have to think. Now I have to think if Brett Thorson's gonna be hurt or not. That's a big if. I'm gonna go under. Screw it.
Yeah. Throw down the gauntlet. Under. All right. And then the last one. Over miscellaneous. Over under black jersey appearances at 0.5.
In game or in social media posts?
Okay. Slam the over. It would be like, even if it's like 15.5 for social media posts, it'd be over.
Yeah.
I'm going under.
I'm going under as well.
Yeah, I will believe it when I see it.
I will believe it when I see it, and I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. Would be fun.
What I'll say is, I'll say this. Kirby, if you're listening to me right now, downplay it all season long, and then just give the seniors something. Give them a little bit. Give them a little bit of something like you did in the past.
Yeah.
I think that the stadium would absolutely become unhinged from the planet, from our planetary axis, if that were to happen, if they were to run out onto the field in the black jerseys. Not like, a la Mark Richt, but like just in general.
Yeah.
Although that would be an amazing throwback, and to do it against Alabama, that would be amazing too.
Yeah. Not happening. Found that under things that are not happening, Alex.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, hey, Coach, appreciate you as always. Looking forward to another year of over unders with you, um, as we do on My God a Podcast.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Congratulations on your engagement, my friend.
Absolutely. All right. Well, hey, season preview. Um, Season has been previewed, I suppose. We talked about the week 0. We got some games. There will be college football this weekend. Um,
Man, we're here. And we've got we've got kids activities over the top of everything, right?
yes.
Maybe not
Yes.
you, but I know I do.
It's just like, I guess, different now. So, but
I will say to his credit, since Carter's decided to do golf full time, and that golf practice on Saturday is only 11 to 12.
mhm.
So I will hopefully have availability for a good chunk of the any games, regardless of, kickoff time.
With golf talk, and since we had the one podcast where we like talked all about golf, I do have to I do have to say, like, I almost had my second hole in one of my life this past weekend. I had a par three, just like 140 yards or so, and it was about, I don't know, 2-3 inches stopped short of the hole. It was one of those where, like, usually you think it's closer than it is when you get there. This one, like, I didn't think it was that close, and I got up there, I was like, whoa, like that almost went in. So we'll see,
Amazing.
we'll see. All right,
Good
man.
times. I'm playing in a golf tournament this weekend, actually.
Oh,
Charity
nice,
charity tournament for work. I'll be at Chateau Alon if anybody out there is going to be either there or playing in it. Let me know.
nice, nice. Enjoy that. Those are fun.
I'm excited. And to be fair, it's I think it's the first scramble I think I've ever played, except for, well, I take that back. We played scramble with Dwight and John.
Mm,
When we played with them. This is a foursome scramble though, not a twosome. So
gotcha. Okay, those are fun. Those are fun. It's been a minute since I've done one of those, but they're always a good time.
yeah.
All right, man. Well, hey, we do plan to have another episode. We kind of hinted to it a couple of times. But one more episode before we preview Marshall, and then we'll be back next week to preview the season opener, home opener, to kick things off.
Amen. Amen. And I think that we're gonna sign this off with little cheerio and go dogs.
Yes, sir. Cheerio and go dogs.